Good morning, all. It is Thursday. It's the 28th of May, and our reading is from 2nd John 1 3. Grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, will be ours who live in truth and love. Now, there's a lot of anxiety going around. I found this in my own practice over the years, and especially since 2020. It's like there's this big cloud of anxiety hanging over all of us. Look, I had my own meltdown last week, and it's really embarrassing when people say, "What would you tell somebody else? Remember what you teach." Yeah, I know. But it's a lot easier to tell other people than to tell yourself. And that is true. But the whole point is we don't need to live in anxiety. And I'm not saying we're unconcerned about the craziness around us. There was a lot going on last week, and there's probably always going to be a lot going on this week and next week and forever. And so it's easy to have some anxiety. But what are we told? Do not be anxious, which isn't a command. It says, here's how you avoid anxiety by giving in prayer and thanksgiving. In other words, when we reiterate the truth, remembering how God has cared for us, that we can trust Him. And by thanking Him, we are thanking Him for all the times He has proved Himself to be faithful. And when we do that, we reframe the false information coming to us from the world with God's reality, which says no matter what happens, He is there for us. He watches over us. And yes, does that mean nothing bad is going to happen? No. Does it mean I don't want anything bad to happen? Of course, I'm not crazy. Well, some people may think so. But what it means is He is there with us. He will protect us when He chooses to. He will heal when He chooses to. But most of all, He wants to be glorified and for us to grow and be conformed to the image of His Son. And unfortunately, for us, circumstantially, that doesn't always work if everything ran smoothly. I always quote Lewis Carroll, who has the Red Queen, saying, "You have to run just to stay in place." We can't grow unless we're running the race that He has called us to run, and depending on Him to be there with us in the circumstances of life, to give us the strength to endure, to give us the peace that we need, in dependency on Him, because we're not going to come up with it out of our own strength. And yes, we can make choices to avoid feeding the negativity, but still, finally, we have to depend on that peace that passes all understanding, which means it's a supernatural peace that makes no sense from a human perspective. So I hope you experience some peace today in whatever circumstances you find yourselves in. Keep looking to the Lord and depending on the Spirit, and you will do so. And I'll see you again tomorrow.